Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today I want to go over some of the bedding materials that we've talked about in the past, and that is Coco Coir and Hardwood Pellets, and kind of do a comparison on how they do as far as water absorption and how much they expand in volume and things like that to kind of give you an idea of what you're getting into when you purchase these. Because I made the mistake recently of adding Hardwood Pellets and then adding water and realizing it just, the level kept going up and up and up and up, and I was just like, oh, I weighed way too much. So I want to give you an idea of what you should be adding to your bins to add, that few inches of layer that you need rather than adding way too much. So let's go and start taking a look at these experiments. All right, to start here, we have our scale. It is set to negative 1.8 ounces, and that's to account for the containers. And we have in here 2.5 ounces of our hardwood pellets. And then we have in here 2.5 ounces of our Coco Coir. So now what we're going to do here, let me move the scale out of the way. We're going to add equal parts water to these and see how they do. This right here has 4 cups of water in it. We're going to pour that starting in here in our wood pellets. And I'm going to grab 4 cups of water for the other one. All right, here we go. We're going to let these sit and see how much water they can absorb. Okay, so as you can see here, these both have swelled up quite a bit, but they haven't absorbed quite all the water. So that was 4 cups of water. I filled up this measuring cup right here. So let's pour out what we can and see how well these did. Oh, hold on a second there. It looks like I got a piece. Let me pour this back in. We'll do this one more time here. Now I'm trying to leave the big chunks in, just getting the small stuff is fine. All right, so there's all the water that this absorbed. This thing was filled, and it looks like it absorbed a half a cup of water. So that's all that this was able to absorb, was a half a cup of water. Now, so that's, a good amount left after this. I dumped this full cup in. So I'm going to put this somewhere and I'm going to strain out the other one. All right. This one looks like it's going to be a little bit harder to strain. Sorry. I'm going to have to probably put my hand over it like this and kind of drain it this way. Best I can. I think that's pretty good. As you can tell, this absorbed a lot more water. So in this is less than 2 cups now. It's at 1 3/4 cups. So this absorbed over half the amount of water. And, you know, well, let's put it this way, over 2 cups here and a half a cup here, essentially. So this absorbs a whole lot more water than these pellets do. Now, these still feel like they could maybe hold a little bit more, maybe, but I don't know, they feel pretty... Let's just see, can I squeeze a drop out here? Because that's the key, when you have bedding, you want to be able to squeeze some water out. And you see I can squeeze drops out of there. Oh, no, you can't. So, here, let me just show you here. You can squeeze drops out of this one. So, and then, coming over to the other one here, my hands are now coated in this stuff. You can obviously squeeze some drops out of here. So the Coco Coir, I think if you're looking for water retention in your material, this is actually a really good material, the Coco Coir. I think it did work better than the Hardwood Pellets, and it also definitely expanded a lot more, it looks like, too. So now we're going to measure expansion, though, how much these materials actually expand. So to do that, we're going to get some different containers here. All right, to measure expansion, I have these 2 cups here, and they have a line on here. So these are gelato cups that I have that are left over. This line is about, what, 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches or something up on here. So I fill them up to those lines with both materials, and we're going to fill these up with water and see how much they expand. So let's just start right here. We're going to just fill these up to the top, and we're going to see how much they expand in this container. Let's grab a little bit more water here. Hold on a second. All right, so those are filled to the top. Let's let them sit there and see how much they expand. All right, so let's go to a lower view and see what this really looks like. All right, I know this might be hard to see, but actually look, this is almost fully absorbed to the top here. I can push down a little bit. I can push down about this far, if you can see my finger there, and then I start getting a lot of resistance. So this swelled up almost the entire container. Now let's just see how this is doing here. If I push down in here, it's a little bit further. It's about right there. So this shows, I just wanted to show how much this stuff really plumps up here once you get it wet. So, I mean, you can tell, I mean, these things fall apart, but they really do. I mean, both of them were down around this line right here. So, here's an empty container for comparison with the line on it. As you can see, it was right down here, and now they've swelled up to the top. So this more than doubled. And this one about doubled in size, I want to say, this container right here with the wood pellets in it, whereas this went about, you know, instead of doubling, it went about 1.5 times its size. So the reason why I wanted to go over this and how they're different is also the texture of them. So when I reach in here, like this is very crumbly and kind of hard, whereas for this, it's kind of smooth. It's a little bit of texture to it, but it's much more smooth. So if you're trying to change your bins or fix something, maybe you have too much moisture in, these are materials you can add to help get rid of some of that moisture. Now, at the same time, You might be getting rid of moisture, but you're adding bedding material that will expand, and you have to be careful. What I did before is if I had a container like this, I would fill it up to here and then add water, and all of a sudden it'd be up to here, you know, well above the container. So you got to make sure that you're adding in what you want in your container. So if you want just filled to this line, you only need a small layer in here, and then you want to add in the water. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have questions, please let me know, or if you have any other ideas for tests. I'm really curious as to what I can find that's difference between these other than just how the worms are raised in them. So if you have any questions, let me know, and please leave a comment below and let me know what you think of this video. Thank you.